Good to know you are still there with us on KAFTAN television this beautiful, even though cold, chilly morning in the nation's capital of Abuja. And it's still the press, and I am Mikky Attah. And at this moment, I'm being joined by a guest. I was just having a chit-chat with him. Very excited that you're here because I've tried everything. It's been a longing of mine for you to join me on set here.
Yeah,
a very familiar face, you would all know. But he's never been with me on the press, so this is a lovely morning for me. Okay, Mr. Richard Oriri, you deserve a handshake.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah,
it's a pleasure
with you
indeed.
today.
Okay. You're all very familiar with him, but you might not know one or two things about him. Number one, he's an agriculturist. Yes, he's into farming, and his farm products are even already being harvested. Apart from that, he was recently appointed as the senior legislative aide to the number 4 citizen, talking about the Speaker, the Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly. Congratulations.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much.
Not just that, as you know, he's a very senior public affairs analyst and a policy specialist. Okay, Dodo, Mr. Richard, I want us to delve straight into trending stories right now. Let's talk about Mudashiru Obasa, the rise and fall.
The political buhara in Lagos.
No, around 3 o'clock yesterday, we got the news that, man, the speaker has been impeached. Very rare in Nigeria for a speaker to be impeached. And most often the stories bandied are not the actual stories behind it. So what do you make of this very sudden impeachment that came immediately with a replacement in that house?
It wasn't sudden, and like you said it used to be very rare. That is rare for a speaker to be impeached, a speaker of House of Assembly to be impeached. He's he's making the number 20th persons to have been impeached as speaker in Nigeria from 1999 to date. And in the case of Obasa in Lagos State, his ambition became so ambitious.
Ambition became ambitious.
Became so ambitious.
I like that.
You understand? So it was a palace coup, and they have succeeded in removing him. And you know, Obasa, I can see him to be an ingrate. He should have known by now the person that he's working and as a mentee to the president, President Tinubu, to President Tinubu, Nigerian president today, is a mentee to Tinubu.
Right. And
by now he should know that from 1999, Tinubu has never made use of a speaker of the House of Assembly to be governor,
right? To
become governor,
right?
And that is one thing he failed to understand. And another thing again is one of the mentees of the president that have been so favored, the first in Nigerian history to be a speaker of House of Assembly for 10 years.
10 running years. That's
for
true.
10 years. You understand? So he's an ingrate, and the number 1 law of 48 laws of power says you don't outshine your master. You don't dare outshine your master.
Okay.
And around December, we held that when President Tinubu got to Lagos, he invited him before the governor and he asked him to apologize to the governor. And it's like whether he refuses also. So it was so glaring that he will be removed. The best time to do it is now.
Right.
Yes, the best time to do it is now. He has all the time now for him to go and continue with his political structure across the local government in Lagos State. He has all the time now to go ahead with his own political lineup. And they have their own time now to restructure their system. Because the system in Lagos belongs to Tinubu. And you cannot just rise to say you are collapsing the system or you are going against the already structured system. So that's why I said his ambition became so ambitious. So he should have waited to see the body language of their leader before he even made the step to say he wants to contest for governor. He has the right as a citizen to say he want to contest as governor. But has he discussed that with the president? Has he discussed that with his principal, who is the governor? So they have their way of doing things in Lagos under Tinubu's structure. So it's like he has fallen out of the structure, and that is why they have to let him go.
Okay, well, you were just talking about his principal, which is who is the Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, who emerged, you know, this is his second term.
Yes.
But he came in by kicking out Ambode. After his first term, still again under the same structural arrangement. But let me just quote somebody here. It says, Sanwo-Olu's special advisor on media and publicity, Boyega Akoshile, in an interview, described Obasa's impeachment as a strict legislative affair. And he said that it was devoid of politics, and that the state government's influence devoid of the state governor's influence or his interference. Now, Linda says, Lagos Assembly, Sanwo-Olu claims innocence as Obasa is impeached. Well, it says here for alleged fraud. Is that possible?
Very possible. Very possible, because they operate from different perspectives. Sanwo-Olu belongs to the executive arm of government, and the Obasa belongs to the legislative arm of the government. So there's clear separation of activities, of powers. So he has no business with what is going on in the State Assembly. And the State Assembly has no business with what is going on in the executive arm. But they work hand in hand to ensure that they give governance to the people. But for now, that it has happened is clearly and purely the business of the legislatures. So it's not his business. But he is hearing it like other Nigerians are hearing it. That is just what I can say there. Okay. And that is his position as well.
Right. Yes. Spoken like a good politician.
No.
Well, okay. So, well, what is there is that, like you said, I mean, this is, we're talking about the House of Assembly, different from the governor, and I mean, it was done according to legislative procedures.
Pure internal affairs of
and
the
again, you know, a new speaker has emerged, you know, and here we have, let's see, Molara, Miranda emerging as the first speaker of the Lagos.
First female speaker of Lagos State Assembly.
Wow, wow, wow. Like this is another rare one in Nigeria. So she was actually the deputy speaker. So I was speaking to a deputy governor one time, and he said, you know, my job is the most dangerous job. You know, your principal is always looking over his back, like, is he going to step in any moment?
By bringing in the deputy speaker, is like they have done the right thing, because I think she has learned the rope.
Right.
And by giving her the opportunity now to serve as a full-fledged speaker, I think she will have all it takes to manage the assembly well.
Not just that, I think constitutionally she's the next person to step in. Actually,
not just the next person to step in. That they have impeached Obasa, they have the right to equally bring in another whoever. But they have found her worthy of the position. They have seen that she is qualified from her antecedent in the House, and possibly she must have convinced them that yes, I am fit for the position, and that is why they have to look towards her direction. And today she is the speaker and first female speaker of Lagos State House of Assembly.
Well, let's look at it. 10 years, and we're talking of 10 consecutive years, not speaker out and in. A straight stretch is 10 years. That means he's been under like a couple of governors. She served Ambode.
She served Sanwo-Olu for the first tenure, and now he's still serving Ambode. Sanwo-Olu.
You know, so that's a rare feat.
It's a rare feat. It's a rare feat.
I have never heard of any speaker.
Yes, that's why I say he behaves like someone that is ungrateful, because he's the most favored.
Really?
Among all the mentees of the president, he's the most favored, because
and amongst all the speakers in Nigeria.
Among all the speakers in Nigeria, he's the most favored. So his ambition became too ambitious. So
oh dear! So this is what happens when your ambition becomes so ambitious that, you know, It gets consumed. All right, I think what I'm going to do now, let's open the phone lines and let's get some people's response to that. Then we'll go into the PDP issue, which I mean, PDP is trending.
We are going towards 2027. 2027.
Right.
All political parties, alignment, realignment, and rejiggling, and all of this. That is what is going on presently.
Okay. So what will happen? Let's have the numbers up on the screen, and then once you see them, just hit us up here. We're here to take your views. We're here to take your calls. We want to know what you are doing right. Hey, Kidodo, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning. You're welcome. You're live on air. Where are you calling from, and what's your name and your contribution? Oh, we lost that caller. In the meantime, like we were saying, Lagos Assembly gets female speaker, and then another paper said that here he committed many sins. I think you've listed about 2 of them. 1, ingratitude.
Yes.
And number 2, failure to recognize and follow the line
lack of respect for his colleagues.
Right.
Lack of respect for his colleagues.
Yes.
He was seeing himself as a god. He was seeing himself as God, as someone that is untouchable. So he lacks. He was seeing some of his colleagues within the house as just a nobody.
Right.
Some people that have no power to even do anything to him. He doesn't know. He forgot that all of them, they are just ordinary members of the house.
Right.
And from among them, they selected him. They picked him to be their leader.
Right.
And the same people that have picked him to be their leader have the same right to equally say, "Calm down.
Right.
We don't need you again." And that is what they have done now.
Right.
So he doesn't show that he's a good leader, because as a good leader, the first priority of a good leader is the subordinate.
Right.
Yes, you take their interests very seriously. You respect them individually.
Right. I agree with you. Hello, morning. Let's take this call.
Good
morning.
Good morning, my sister. Good morning again. Yeah.
Right.
My name is Mazi Okurapo from Queen Abia State.
Oh, welcome, Mazi. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, my sister. You see, when this is catch this morning is this issue of the commotion and confusion in the House of Assembly in Lagos State. Now, the speakership. What I want Nigerian politicians to know is this: when you climb up, anybody, any human being on earth, when you climb up, remember, do not shift the goalposts. I repeat, do not shift the goalposts. And secondly, don't remove the ladder. Don't remove the ladder. These 2 cardinal is what Nigerians are facing in terms of politics. And people enter or join politics based on 2 things: money and power, which is very, very wrong. And that's why I'm still hammering on it. Nigerians, or church people, should go into politics as a vocation, not as an occupation. If you enter any office as an occupation, or this, you end up, that is when the church is being, the wind is blowing, and it is blowing, you start having problems. Look at some people, they say they trouble again, get the black card and all these words. What have you gained? This. And that is why we have to be very careful. I think we saw what happened in Borno yesterday. All these terrorists. And I asked myself, this is the problem we are facing. You go back, sit down, and then political talks. When they come back, the organ and the basic answer did not support the church, did not go back to them. It's what we call the boomerang effect in psychological management. Boomerang effect plays back. The law of benefits plays back in psychology. We have to be very careful. Good morning.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, he's saying that it's a boomerang effect. It's something you were saying something like that in a nutshell. I mean, talking about ingratitude. So he expanded it. He said that number 1, don't move the ladder, don't remove the ladder once you've climbed, and then the second thing he was saying is that listen, don't change the goalposts so that it will keep favoring you, because one day it's going to splash in your face. And I agree with that. Let's hear from another caller. Good morning. Morning. You're live.
Good morning.
Right.
Good morning.
Morning.
Engineer, you're calling from the state.
From which state?
Ogun State.
Ogun State. How's Ogun this morning?
Yeah, fine.
Beautiful. Okay, engineer, let's hear your opinion.
Yes. You see, talking about leaders in Nigeria or good leaders, you see, what is the criteria to become a leader in Nigeria? You see, to become a leader in Nigeria is, I can say, is money conscious business, right? So it's not giving room for good people to come on board. Now, imagine a political party selling a form for ordinary councillor or House of Rep for almost 21 million naira. Now you see, most of these leaders, most of people go around banks, people have to sponsor them. Now, what do you expect from someone that sponsors somebody to become a leader? It's going to dance to the tune of the sponsor, right? So most of our leaders are money conscious, right? The platform is just for you to come and enrich yourself. Because imagine somebody borrowing like 50 million to become House of Representative. Now the first thing it's going to look after is how it's going to get that money back. So the platform to become leaders in this country is not favoring the good and the just. So it's only favoring those people that can gather money, that can go to any extent to get this money, and when you get there, you get your money back. So it's making it difficult for us to get good leaders in Nigeria. So we have good people there, but most of them, the platform for them to get there is not favoring the good people. Imagine me as an individual now, how will I raise 21 million to get from a party to become ordinary House of Representative member? Thank you.
Whoa. Okay. Well, the engineer there is dwelling much on the Nigerian concept of money politics.
No, what he was saying actually is the way and manner we choose leadership in the country, and that is coming from the area of a political party.
Right.
Because from within the political party, they have structured the system within the political party in such a way that poor people cannot have access to leadership.
Right.
And like Mazio Korafa said, he said politics is a vocation. And in vocation, you learn like apprentice under somebody until you are seen to have learned what the vocation to a certain level that you can operate on your own before the person teaching you, the person you are learning from, that you are a mentee under, can give you responsibility.
True.
And if he gives you that responsibility, it doesn't foreclose that the fact that others behind you, from among 2,200 million people, yes, the person has chosen you to occupy that position. There are still many other ones that are under that training that can still be favored, like you. So now, in the case of Lagos State, the impeached speaker, the former Speaker of Lagos State House of Assembly, Obasa, never thought it. In fact, he doesn't even have it at the back of his mind that there are still other of his brothers and sisters within this circle of apprenticeship that can occupy any other position. It should be him. They have allowed him, all of them, they have been silent. Even from among his colleagues in the House of Assembly, they are silent when the Oga said it should still continue. They have to swallow their ambition.
True.
They have to swallow their ambition. And he wasn't looking at all of that sacrifices. But today he said he wants to be governor even when the leader have not even made pronouncement.
Not even the party has
not
made
even the party has made any pronouncement. And he's taking it as if it was a do or die affair. The best thing was for him to go elsewhere and pursue his ambition. And that is why they have jetted him out of the system.
Okay, well, I know you're the senior legislative aide to the speaker, but please give us some senior legislative advice now. No, so like just break it down for a layman. Now he's been impeached. Number one, will he still be a member of the House of Assembly?
He's a member, but a floor member now. A floor member. He's a member because he's representing a constituency.
Right.
He's
then another
representing
thing, after this, can he still contest for other positions?
The rest of the position in the House now is in the hand of the Speaker.
Right.
The Speaker decides who occupies which position now.
Right.
And the chairman of this committee, chairman of that committee, chairman of that committee.
Okay.
If the Speaker so wish, she can allow him to remain just as an ordinary member of the House.
Right.
But he must occupy, at least he must be a member of certain committees.
Okay.
But that privilege of say you are the leader of the entire House,
Right.
that privilege has been stripped off his body.
Okay. So now we know. Well, one thing, you know, his name is so real. If you were to ask me who's the Speaker of maybe Nasarawa State, I wouldn't know. The State House of Assembly. But Obasa, you know, the name is so real, so impactful, so
Lagos
everywhere.
is so pronounced. Lagos is so
I
pronounced.
know, not just that, because of his long tenure. So, I mean, you would have thought that somebody who has been in that exalted position for that length of time should be politically savvy, smart enough to know that, look, you know, such a person shouldn't at any level make any wrong step, don't you think?
No. Leadership sometimes come with terrible, serious wisdom.
Yeah.
And from what has happened shows he lacks wisdom.
Okay, it's wisdom he's lacking.
Yes, he lacks wisdom.
Okay, let's listen to Mohammed. He's called all the way from Maiduguri. Good morning, Mohammed. You're welcome. A regular caller.
Good morning, my brother. Happy New Year for him. Because
Good.
this is the first time I'm watching him this year.
Okay.
Good morning, and Happy New Year.
Yeah, so thank you. Please let me quickly contribute to the issue of what happened in Borno State. This issue of
Please.
this boy.
Thank you. We want somebody on the spot to tell us. Thank you.
Okay. You see, what happened there is that, you know, the local government of Kukawa local government is a very big local government. In fact, that local government is bigger than Adia State. That one local government of Kukawa is bigger than Adia State.
Okay.
So it's a hot spot, it's a crisis spot. You know, the Baga, the Chad Basin headquarters in Baga is in that Kukawa local government. So because of this, the dry season farming and fishing, that place is the economic nerve center of the entire Northeast. People never know it because it is now when nothing is forthcoming. Everybody is busy looking for agricultural source of income. Everybody is focusing, even the other one no go come. Why can't we go back to the basics? That is what brought about everybody moving towards that arable land, that fertile land. You see, so now, from what I discovered, because I have relations that in that particular place where that incident happened, I got detail of what happened. Let me just inform our listeners.
Please go ahead.
You see, yes, so the security people, the civil defense, the other agencies, they have marked certain area as a secure area for farming. Yeah?
Right.
Many of the people that are drawn from the camp to that settlement, they are carrying out their agricultural activity within the secure environment. But the other people that are just crushing, coming, without considering whether this place is a secure environment or not, they extended themselves to certain areas that actually are not under security coverage. This is the truth of the matter. And if you expose yourself too much to a danger zone, anything can happen. It's unfortunate. This thing happens. We are not happy about it. We don't want anybody to lose life because they are struggling for survival. And the pepper, the atarugu, the capacity where they are producing in that area are directly sometimes coming to even Abuja with my from everywhere who are getting it. So it is hopeful that our state agencies can pick up and increase governance to the general area. That place is very fertile for dry season agricultural production. Honestly speaking, they are not even habitats. They are not indigenous of the place. People from every other state who are good in dry season farming are even coming. You know, those days when things were normal, that region, nobody clear who is the president, who is the governor, because as long as you can get your survival, you don't even care to know who is even in chairman of local government. So people are even happy. But the wicked people who I can call them wicked, those European or Western, whatever, who don't want our home production to be good and sustainability in Nigeria, brought about this crisis, this sponsored Boko Haram crisis in that region. That's the child you are hearing, that break that you are hearing. They deliberately created that madness in that area so that we cannot produce enough in that place and compel us to start importing from outside. People don't know. So I am now
All right.
reporting officially to KAFTANTV. Please, wow.
Thank you for the report.
Now, that area is unfortunate. We are not happy about it, but we are begging the authority in Abuja to add more security governors because those people that are killed, some of them are Nigerians, some are Ghanaians, whatever. People are coming around to produce more and more. And what they produce is consumed by us.
All right. Thank you very much.
So please, help us echo this issue.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was an on-the-spot report from Borno State. How can we live like this as Nigerians? We have, in the first place, aren't we supposed to be living and being secured? Then you now have to designate a security area.
Flashpoints.
My goodness.
Flashpoint area.
Must we continue to live like this?
We should even be thanking God and appreciating the Nigerian defense for securing the larger part of Borno State today, that people are even living and sleeping very well.
Right.
I need to thank the Nigerian defense. They are doing exceedingly very well, and I can take that to be the glory of the immediate past Lagbaja, the immediate past chief of defense staff that just lost his life recently. He sincerely brought the Nigerian securities together. Before now, why we are seeing almost everywhere being secured today in Nigeria is because the intelligence that they are sharing now wasn't there before. Before, the SSS, they have their intelligence, they keep it to themselves. The police have their intelligence, they keep it to themselves. The military gather their intelligence, they keep it to themselves. Even civil defense, they gather their intelligence and keep it to themselves.
Oh dear.
Each of them, they were struggling to see that I am the one doing the best thing. Eye service, then going directly to report to the president, this is what we are doing here. But they are not sharing intelligence with each other. But today now, we see that the intelligence sharing has sincerely helped the Nigerian defense.
Yeah.
And that is why they have achieved what they have achieved there so far.
Right. Okay, let's take another caller right this moment. Morning.
Hello.
Hello. Morning.
Yes, good morning, madam.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this Chief Gideon calling from Lagos.
Chief from Lagos. Okay. How's Lagos now with the removal of Obasa?
I believe there will be change. There should be always change of party.
Right.
And somebody is not born with a particular position. So any other person can come in and chip in a different idea that can move the country forward.
Okay. Remove the state.
Yeah.
Okay, Chief, what's your contribution generally? Sorry.
Yeah, we should give kudos to the security agencies. They are trying. I give them 8%. Yes. It's so rest with Lagbaja. He tried. He was able to bring all the security agencies together, which is working out today. And what is left now is for the government to try their best. Every other problem they have today is based on the government. They should give them all the necessary tools that they need to work with.
Right.
And one thing I want to say now, we will keep on complaining now from January to December if we don't do what I want to chip in now.
Right.
Because we should not be caught unaware. Very soon you will see all these Boko Haram others, bandits using technological warfare. You'll be surprised they will start using drones. So we should not be caught unaware. That technological warfare should be applied to our own security agencies. They should be able to use drones.
All right.
To use as a surveillance.
Okay.
To survey everywhere. They're only talking of a CCTV camera in the street. Is it not the same woman that one installed this CCTV camera?
Yeah, they are. Thank you very much.
There will be sabotage.
Right.
There's nothing like having a control room concerning drones.
Right. You've made your point, and we really agree with you. Yeah. So he's saying that let us now deploy the use of drones early, before even the people.
The use of drones cannot give us the result that we want. The result that we are seeing today, from my analysis and my intelligence from the rural community, I'm a local person, and in the 774 local government in Nigeria. The DSS, they have representative in every local government in Nigeria, and they gather information on daily basis. Now, what Lagbaja did was to synergize with the SSS officials, to synergize with the DSS. His synergy with the DSS has given us this result, because if you are related with the DSS to feed you information, then the military will go in. You can hardly find military in all 774 local governments in Nigeria. But the DSS have representative in every local government in this country.
Right.
And for the fact that they have representative in every local government in this country, they know the criminals within every local government.
Right.
Except they don't want to know. And having details of these criminals within these local government areas that are terrorizing and dehumanizing people within every local government area. If you have their details, you share with the military.
Right.
And the military at night can come and pick them.
Right.
That is what they have been doing.
Right.
The military going straight to where these criminals are in every local government in the night, pick them from their home, and at the end, you don't see them again.
Right.
That is what they have done so far. And why we are seeing what we are seeing today, and everyone is applauding the military. Okay. I want them to continue with this synergy.
Okay, so in a nutshell, you are talking of intelligence sharing.
Intelligence sharing.
One, and
no
then
one
synergy
is taking the glory.
Right.
The person taking the glory is the CNC. The chief, that is the president of this country.
Right.
He's the one taking the glory.
Right.
Yes, because if there's insecurity in the country, the whole blame goes to him.
Right.
No, so the DSS director should not take the glory. The defense officer should not take the glory. The IG of the police should not take the glory. But before now, they were all struggling to see, I am the one performing.
Right.
I'm the one performing. Eye service. That eye service of a thing have gone down. Now the entire glory is going to the president, the chief security officer, the chief security officer of the country. So they should continue with this synergy, because there's no village. See, like in my local government now, no bad person, nobody that is a bad person that is not known by the locals.
Yeah, that's the part I find very funny. So what are all these Obas and Ajibs and Onis and all that? What are they doing? Because are they unaware
If you shift it to the traditional rulers, you will even make it worse. Because today, now, is before that we have traditional rulers that are respected by the communities. Today, what we have is political chiefs. Somebody will come from outside and impose your traditional ruler on the community. So the entire community would distance themselves from the traditional ruler. You can be there as the chief of the politician, receiving salary, while the community have their individual leaders that they respect to, they channel their respect to. You understand? That is what is happening. Why the traditional rulers are not having the kind of respect that traditional rulers have in the past is because of the politics that is in place now. When the military were in power, when the Nigerian military were in power, the traditional rulers, they perform very exceedingly well. If you go to any community, you will see that communities, they respect the chiefs. Once you're a criminal, they can banish you from the community and nothing happens. But today, even if traditional people, the community come together to arresting whoever is a criminal within the community and banish the person or dehumanize the person, you will see their political godfather, the person sponsoring them to be that bad in that community, coming to arresting and harassing the community people. In that case, they are distancing themselves. Even when they know the criminals, they don't even report them. You get my point?
Yes.
But today, the DSS, they have done so well. The Nigerian DSS, they have done so well. And they should continue with that synergy. What is happening in Borno State and what is happening? There's no society. There's no society that can exist without crime. No society anywhere in the world that will exist without crime. But what we are saying is that it should be reduced. It shouldn't be so high as it was before. So killing in Borno State and some other minor crime going on now will be eliminated.
Right.
And by the grace of God, if the synergy continues this way, Nigeria will see better security than what we are seeing today.
Right.
The president is doing well.
Right.
He's giving marching order to all the security healths.
Right.
And
right,
they are
right.
synergizing and working
and
in collaboration.
Obeying the marching order because it is so painful forever. I'll never get over the pain of a whole president, like you said, commander-in-chief of the armed forces, a president, the chief security officer, asking the chief of defense staff, move over to Borno State, move over to the theater of the activities. And the man balance here in Abuja never moved an inch, and nothing was done about it. So
that was in the past.
That's what I'm saying. So we had
past,
such
yes.
horrible past history, but now we can see a marked departure. So I think, on that score, we really have to give it to the president, because there has been a glaring, shift in attention to security.
The whole Christmas was celebrated without serious security
infraction. Yeah, that's true. Or unlike in the past.
Unlike in the past.
My goodness.
Going on roads to your community, you will be kidnapped.
People will be kidnapped. The remaining half.
No such incidents in this Xmas celebration in 2024.
Right. Very, very correct. Okay. The numbers are still on your screen. We can just squeeze in maybe one or two more calls because time is really running out. And so let us know what you feel. We don't have enough time to touch on the PDP crisis. What will happen is that we'll come back again on that because it's ongoing. It's very sad to see how
2027 is what is going on.
2027.
Yes.
And here we are. We're just in January 2025. How can we now, be struggling this hard, fighting this tough over
the heat of
2027
election has started.
It has started too hard for me.
It has started.
Oh, Mohammed, you're back from Maiduguri. Let's take you as our last caller. Any new reports? Hello, Mohammed. Mohammed, you're live.
You can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Any new reports?
Okay. In addition to what my brother said about the traditional rulers, honestly, the traditional rulers are a little bit handicapped because of these politicians that they don't give them that regard. Just look at what happened in Kano, the drama that is happening in Kano. It's just a common example of how traditional rulers practice has been. It is used to certain level. It's unfortunate. Please, I will beg the politicians to maintain the practice of the traditional ruler because they are closer to the people. People recognize them as the first layer of government. Even the local government itself, by the way, is no longer it's not because now they are trying to revive the practice of the local government. You see, there is no house you can build without foundation. All of us know about it. Like my brother, who was the royal family in Kogi State, he knows what I'm talking about. So,
Benue State.
From Benue State.
Whatever that we do anywhere, nobody can come and build our country like ourselves. So we let us have ourselves. This is my plea to everybody. Insecurity is everywhere, but we should also know this insecurity that is happening in Nigeria is sponsored directly or indirectly by people who don't want the progress of Nigeria. Nigerians should be able to know this. That our enemy is always coming in a different form.
Right.
Even it's better than the angel, you don't know how they call it. These people come in different colors. They use our grandparents. Create war between our different ethnicities, carry their things to the ocean, and so on. They come in different forms, come with loans, come with different things. So let us come together.
Okay.
Let us love ourselves.
All right.
Religious differences, tribal differences.
Right.
To be ourselves. So
Right.
that we can move forward. This country was very formidable, and it can still be formidable.
Thank you very much, Mohammed. We're going to all unite and do exactly what you're saying. Thank you for your contribution, and thank you for your double contribution, in fact.
Should I add small?
Please, go ahead.
Okay, what he has just said,
Right.
as a royal prince, as a complete prince,
Right.
born by a king,
Right.
in the traditional institution, before we have peace in our local communities in Nigeria, the traditional institution should be allowed to operate the way they have been operating in the past. Like in Benue State, there is no election of traditional ruler. They call it selection. There are kingmakers already from the various kindreds.
Right. Yes,
from the
yes.
various kindreds.
Right.
even before the king dies,
Right.
they
You
know
already
the
know
next
who the next person
that will
is.
be.
Right.
Among the kingmakers, they
True.
select who lead the community and
Right,
who lead them.
right.
And they don't select criminals.
No.
But today, what they have introduced into the traditional institution is election. And that election, before, when they are to select who lead them, the chieftaincy ministry for chieftaincy affairs, they will come to oversee. They only oversee. Then this traditional rural, the kingmakers do selection and submit to them. But today is election and use money to buy whoever will become the leader. Right. And at the end, community will say, we are not respecting you.
Yeah.
So that is the crisis all over our communities.
Country, and all over the country, not only in your area. Okay, well, on this Obasa issue, let me just hear your last word, because time is really
it's a lesson. It's a lesson for other politicians. If you are a mentee to anybody,
right?
Not just that you will be a stooge to the person, but you can advise,
right?
And you don't take step when you are not supposed to take step,
right?
So the ambition, we can be ambitious. We can have ambition, but our ambition should not be over ambitious,
right?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
That is what has led to his removal. Right.
Very high climb and very fast fall. Well, let me tell you, let me just end mine with a true life story. This really happened. There was a deputy governor and a governor in a particular state, right? The governor felt the deputy governor was being overambitious and decided that he was going to get him impeached. Everything was set in place by the National Assembly, which by this time had only one opposition member. So it was practically, let's call it a one-party House of Assembly. And like you rightly pointed out, always look at the people directly behind you, because those are your primary constituency. Now, this deputy governor had been doing that. So he was informed immediately of the plot. And knowing very well that, I mean, this was a case of, you know, the next morning a motion will be brought in and this is a motion to impeach and, we seconded and it would have been a fait accompli. And what he did was he called the press. If some people know how to use the press to their advantage. He called the press, released his own letter-headed information that he has resigned from the position. And that was announced the night, and he timed it so that we announced in the evening, peradventure. By the next morning, the impeachment was a burst balloon.
To avoid the embarrassment of impeachment, he has to save himself.
Politics.
He has to save himself of that embarrassment.
So anyway, that just goes to show, my dear, once you're in a position, remember those behind you, because if you kick away the ladder, you're going to need the same people to hold the ladder. As I say, remember those on your way up, because they'll be there.
Your subordinates should be your priority as a leader.
Your subordinates should be your priority as a leader. Let's take that as our takeaway from our erudite guest this morning. Thank you very much, Prince Richard Oriri.
My pleasure.
And it's also been my pleasure bringing you the press this morning. We've completely run out of time. Well, keep on with KAFTAN Television. We have a whole day's programming lined up for you today. My name is Mikky Attah, wishing you a very fruitful and a very good day. So, God bless you. Have a wonderful one. Bye-bye now.